Welcome to our explainer. Today, we're diving into an ancient philosophy with a really mind-bending idea at its core, that the universe isn't just around you, it is you. This is the world of Advaita Vedānta, and it has a profound answer to one of our oldest questions.
Okay, let's just dive right in with something we all know, suffering. I mean, we live in a world of constant change, of pleasure and pain, and eventually, loss. Ancient texts, they totally get this. From the warrior Arjuna's despair in the Bhagavad Gita to a young man in the Katha Upanishad who literally asks death itself, what happens when we're gone? This is the fundamental problem that Advaita Vedānta is trying to solve.
So, the first thing Advaita Vedānta does is it acknowledges this feeling of being trapped. It gives it a name, samsara. And this is that relentless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, all of it driven by our actions and, well, their consequences.
Now, while this whole cycle is governed by our actions, good or bad, here's the crucial point. It's all about limitation. We get so attached to our bodies, our thoughts, our jobs. But is that really who you are? Vedanta's answer is a hard no. We're mistaking the temporary stuff for the eternal.
So, how do we get out of the trap? Well, this is where things get really interesting. This is the core revelation of the whole philosophy. Vedanta introduces two concepts that are going to completely reframe how you see everything.
First up, there's ātman. Now, this is not your personality. It's not your ego. The best way to think of it is as that silent, unchanging observer that's deep inside you, the real you. And the scriptures, they get pretty poetic about it.
Okay, so that's the individual self. Now let's zoom all the way out to the ultimate reality of the entire cosmos.
This is Brahman. It's described as the unseen seer, the unheard hearer. It's the one single substance that everything is made of, the beginningless, endless foundation of all that is. And this brings us to the most radical, most mind-blowing idea in all of Advaita Vedānta.
So, get this. The central claim is that ātman and Brahman, they aren't two different things. They are one and the same. And that's not a metaphor, okay? It's a statement of absolute, literal identity.
This one little phrase from the Upanishads, tat tvam asi, is the beating heart of this entire philosophy. You are that. You're not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. This raises a huge question, right? If I'm the supreme, eternal reality, why am I hungry? Why am I stressing about deadlines? And why do I fear what's coming next?
Well, the answer, according to Vedanta, lies in a concept called Maya.
You can think of Maya as this cosmic veil of illusion. It's tricky. It does two things. One, it hides the true reality of Brahman, and two, it projects this world of infinite variety in its place. The classic analogy they use for this is brilliant. It's like mistaking a rope for a snake in a dimly lit room.
And that right there, that's the perfect illustration of our situation. Our suffering, our fear, it's very real. But its root cause, this belief that we're separate, fragile little individuals, that's the illusion. It's the snake that we've superimposed on the reality of the rope, our unity with Brahman. Now, this is a really important point. The world isn't unreal like a hallucination. The rope exists. The world exists. The illusion is in our interpretation. Seeing a world of a million separate things instead of one unified whole, that's the core ignorance, or avidya, that keeps us trapped. So, the big question is, how do you do it? How do you stop seeing the snake and finally see the rope for what it really is? Well, Advaita Vedānta is very clear on this. The path isn't through rituals or actions. It's through knowledge, jnana. See, the thing is, actions, even the good ones, they just keep you tangled up in that worldly cycle of cause and effect. Real freedom, true liberation, it comes from a radical shift in your understanding, a direct, personal realization of your true identity. In this path of knowledge, it has a very clear structure. And listen, this isn't about just blindly believing something. It's a system. First, you listen to the truth, you hear the teachings. Second, you reflect on it. You use your own mind, your own logic, to poke holes in it and remove every last doubt. And finally, through meditation, you take it from being just an intellectual idea and turn it into a direct, living experience. It goes from something you know to something you are.
All right, so let's talk about the end game here, moksha, or liberation. What does that even look like?
Well, it's not about going to some heaven or becoming a new person. It's much simpler and much more profound. It's about waking up to who you've been all along. So, what does this look like in practice? A liberated person still lives in the world, you know? They eat, they work, they interact with people. But on the inside, everything has changed. They're no longer a slave to the ups and downs of life because they see that one self in every single being, and they act from this incredible place of unity and peace.
This is the ultimate freedom, to truly realize that you are the imperishable, all-pervading consciousness, and that the whole drama of the universe is just a play. A play where you are not just the actor, but the stage itself.
You know, at the end of the day, this whole philosophy isn't just some abstract idea. It's a challenge. It's a challenge to look past your everyday identity and ask the deepest question you possibly can. Thank you for joining this explainer.